Hello, 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 you guys. It's your girl, Abeje TheAtre, and welcome back to another episode of Lifestyleicity. This is where I just talk to you about the realities of living a plant-based life. We're going to talk about something that is a little bit sensitive, but not too heavy, and that is misconceptions about going plant-based. So this video is really for those who are not plant-based, so you can stop thinking about us in this way. But it is also for us plant-based people or anyone who is considering going plant-based. These are things that you need to be ready to deal with or be ready to talk to people about, because people do want to know. So I won't tarry long. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first misconception about going plant-based is that you're vegan or vegetarian. You guys, I have been plant-based for a little over 2 years now, and to this day, people still say that I am vegan. Now, when I first started, it used to be like super annoying, and I would keep explaining to people in a kind manner, no, I'm not vegan, I'm plant-based, and they would want to know what's the difference. So then I'd have to tell them, and I tell you, if I told someone that today, I guarantee you 2 weeks later, they would still say, oh, so you're vegan. And I'd just be like, eh. So if people call you vegan and you're not, just go ahead. I mean, depending on who it is, you may want to explain to them the difference. But ultimately, vegan is like the new way to say plant-based to people. Or it's the way for people who are not plant-based to say what you are. So you can just roll with it. Like sometimes I say, yep, that's me. Or I'll say vegan-ish. Going plant-based, they say you're vegan or vegetarian. Now by that, I've been to many functions where they would be like, oh, we got cheese pizza for you and your husband, or we brought you guys some salad and we got ranch dressing. And I'm like, well, there's cheese on the pizza and there's milk in the ranch dressing. And they're like, what? You can't have that? And I'm like, well, I can have whatever I want, but I am not consuming animal products. And they'll be like, so no cheese, no animal products, no milk, no animal products. Like, it's just something that you have to keep repeating to people. So now misconception number 2, you can't have this. Oh brother, this is probably one of my least favorite things that people do. It is the most annoying, and I do get upset sometimes depending on who it is. People, once they realize that you do not consume animal products, they will tell you what you cannot have. And that is in itself, for me personally, really annoying. When people bring up having certain things, they'll be like, oh, you can't have this because then you'd be cheating. I want to make something 100% clear. This is my lifestyle, not a game. This is not a competition. This isn't a match or anything like that. So if we decide every blue moon, you know what, this cake has milk in it and egg in it, but you know what, it's a celebration and I really want to have it. We're not cheating. It's just our lifestyle. And a lifestyle is the things that you do that are a part of your life the majority of the time. So for example, a person who works out, they don't have to work out 7 days of the week in order for it to be their lifestyle. They can work out 5 days of the week, 4 days of the week, even 3 days of the week, and it is their lifestyle. But on the days that they are resting, that does not mean that they are cheating. So I want to make that very clear that we can have whatever the heck we want. But if you decide, you know what, today I want a shake from Cookout,
that would be me.
I'm not making it a habit to step out and eat things with animal products, but every now and then I am. You are not cheating. You are just living your life. So please, people, stop telling us that we're cheating and stop telling us what we can and can't have. Enough about that. I don't want to rant about that for too long. We're going to go ahead to the third misconception, and that is your food is boring and nasty and you only eat salad. It is with a heavy heart that I put this misconception forth, because even today, with all the YouTube videos and the cookbooks out there of people doing super creative things, of people mocking hamburgers and all this stuff and all that jazz, just deliciousness, there are still people who say they will never go plant-based because they don't want to eat rabbit food or they don't want to eat a salad every single day. Let me tell you, that is not what we do. If I'm being completely honest with you, when we first started in our journey here, we did eat a lot of salad, but that's because I hadn't looked up enough recipes. But now that I'm more experienced, we rarely eat salad. Maybe once every like 2 to 3 months I have a spurt of, ooh, I just want salad every day and make it big and fat and wonderful. But for the most part, we don't eat salad. Anything you can eat, I can eat too. It just so happens my recipe might be better for you. Hamburgers, no problem. Steak, no problem. Bacon, no problem. Fried chicken, no problem. How about lasagna? No problem. Cheesecake, no problem. Ice cream, no problem. Cake, no problem. Chips, no problem. Nothing is no problem. Nothing that we plant-based people cannot conquer, because guess what? We are open up to be more creative with the items that we can consume or that we choose to consume. We are not over here just on a carrot. Like, honestly, that is not what our life is. Macaroni and cheese, no problem. By the way, that's my favorite food. So now going to the 5th misconception. That is that living plant-based is expensive. And that's actually absolutely wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, processed foods are expensive. If you're a person who's gone plant-based and you're not really trying to make everything yourself, but instead you're buying the 4 packs of vegan hamburgers and you're buying the pre-made sausages and frozen chicken, buying all of that, it does become very expensive because they are charging an arm and a leg for those things that they have made for you. If you're buying the just egg rather than just buying tofu scramble and kala namak, which is black salt that gives your eggs an eggy taste, then yes, it's going to be more expensive. But if you are going to the farmer's market and spending your money there, I promise you it is not so bad. Look, my husband and I 2 years ago, we were basically broke college graduates, and yet we were able to make it work. And we were living in an overpriced apartment, but we were still able to live a plant-based life and live it to the fullest. So it's not so expensive when you know where you're shopping. Now, the thing that I will say, depending on where you live, if you do not have access to a farmer's market, then it can be expensive for you. And here's why: because you're shopping at your regular grocery stores. We did that for the very first 2 months of being plant-based, and our grocery bill was like anywhere between $700 to $800 a month, because one bag of oranges was $10 compared to at the farmer's market it was really like $4.99 depending on which oranges you get. You know, so everything is upcharged at those grocery stores because they want, for whatever reason, to make it harder for you to eat healthy. So yes, if you're shopping at a grocery store, it's gonna be more expensive. But let me tell you, when we went from going to Kroger to going to the farmer's market, our bill went from $700 to $800 to $500 to $600. You guys, we saved $200 approximately each month just by changing the location of where we were shopping. So being plant-based is not expensive if you're doing it and doing it and doing it well. Okay, sorry. Misconception number 5, mushrooms are nasty. Look, you guys, I grew up my whole life believing that mushrooms were absolutely disgusting. I would pull them off of my pizza. If it was in something, a dish, I did not want it because mushrooms are just disgusting. They were soggy and tasteless. Oh, how ignorant and blind I was. The only mushrooms I knew about that ever existed were portobello, baby bella, and white button mushrooms, which are all in like the same family, right? I didn't know any other mushrooms existed. And you know how many people don't know about all the other mushrooms out there in the world? Like, I've told people about some of the mushrooms that I be eating, and they were like, whoa, I've never heard of that before. There are tens of thousands of different type of mushrooms in the world. We can't eat all of them because some of them are poisonous, but you have so many options. They all have their own different textures and taste. And guess what? Even those portobello and baby bella mushrooms and white button mushrooms, they were cooked wrong. When they're all slimy and stuff like that, it's because they haven't extracted the water from those mushrooms. There is a whole step in order to do that. Since they retain so much water, you just gotta know how to cook your mushrooms properly to get it to taste like chicken, to get it to taste like steak, to get it to taste like bacon, shiitake mushrooms. You just have to know what to do with them. And a lot of people, they're just throwing them on there and they don't really know what is the correct way to cook mushrooms. But guess what? YouTube has supplied us with an infinite infinite amount of videos showing you how to properly cook mushrooms so that they are not soggy and nasty, but instead they are meaty. So no, mushrooms are not disgusting. And then the very, very last misconception is that you eat less. We do not eat less. If anything, we might eat more, especially when you first start. You may eat something and you're like, dang man, I'm hungry again. It's okay. Go eat some more. It's perfectly fine. I'll never forget, we were celebrating my church's anniversary, and the church, they made sure that we had plant-based options available. They brought out the plates of food and we ate it, and it was really delicious. But when I called the waiter over, I was like, hey, can we have another plate? He said, oh, we're out of food. I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, we thought you guys wouldn't want another plate with y'all being plant-based. What to say. So I just said whatever came out of my mouth, and I was like, are you serious? Like, we're still humans. What makes you think I don't want a second plate like everybody else just because my food is different? Not to mention the proportions that you gave us were not that big. We had like a child-sized plate. So I'm like, how could you think that? Now, I didn't lose my temper, but that's how I felt on the inside. Like, I was like, what is wrong with you? That doesn't mean I eat less. That doesn't mean we don't want seconds. Like, if it's good and I still got room in my stomach, I want seconds. Like, who? What? Okay. Anyways, the point is, when you become plant-based, you do not eat less. If anything, you eat more because you get hungry more often, and that's okay because of the things we're consuming. You know, you're eating healthy things. They digest a lot quicker, so they're going through you. So it's okay if you ate 1 hour ago and you're hungry again. Munch on something. You know, if you ate 30 minutes ago, maybe your plate wasn't big enough then, actually. But munch on something again. Like, we do not stop. We don't go hungry over here. We are not starving ourselves. We want to get down just like y'all. So that's really it. Those 6 misconceptions that you guys need to stop thinking, but also you plant-based people need to be ready to address. Number 1, we are not vegan and we are not vegetarian. We are plant-based. Number 2, we can have whatever the heck we want to have because it's a lifestyle. There is no cheating. Every now and then we might just have a specific taste for something. Number 3, our lifestyle is not boring. It is filled with fun, flavors, adventure, and experimenting. Number 4, it's not really expensive unless you're just in an area where they don't have a farmer's market accessible to you. Number 5, mushrooms are our friends. They are not nasty. They are everything. And number 6, we eat just as much as you, if not more. So please, please, please stop thinking this way about us. Look, it's great. We absolutely love the life that we live. If we chose to be plant-based, rest assured we didn't choose it because we want boring food. We didn't choose it because we want to spend more money, because we want to eat less, because we want to restrict ourselves. We chose it because it is the optimal thing for us. And we can have just as much fun as you. So without further ado, that is it. You guys have an absolutely wonderful and amazing day. And remember, your lifestyle is your city. So please take care of it.